Hello and welcome to another episode of Spoken Threads. My name is Nomfundo and I'm here with my beautiful sisters.
Tato?
Please.
Yeah, although we're laughing about it, but we've got a very serious topic today. So, Center. So recently, I was telling the ladies about two very high-profile cases in the States where the parents have been charged with the children's crimes. So in one case, the dad, this child was 14 years old, and him and his dad were owning rifles and they would shoot deer and so forth. So he had a rifle, this child, and he took it to school and shot up a few kids and school teachers at school. The dad was charged with this crime and was found guilty, and he got a very long sentence. And the other case was a dad who gave or the charge was that he gave the keys to the 15-year-old son, and the son drove, and then while driving the car, he ran over some other people. So really sad cases coming from stateside. And it just got me thinking about in South Africa, we had some recent cases of school stabbings, kids doing really bad things in schools and so forth. So do you think that South Africa should really look into charging parents for a crime committed by a child, prosecuting them and sending them to jail? So what are your thoughts, ladies?
Sure. It's a tough one because just like us in America, they also have that juvenile system.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to find out in those two cases you mentioned what actually it happened to those kids.
Yeah, they were charged.
Correct, right? But obviously juvenile sentences are lower.
Correct.
Just like any prison system, they focus on rehabilitation. Bringing it back home, it will possibly be the same. But I'm still questioning as to whether or not is it fair to charge the parents. Because I'm assuming in both cases, for the one, it's a hobby, right? You're shooting deer, you're unwinding. But as a parent, you don't think that this child could one day wake up, take the gun to school with the intention, I'm assuming it sounds like premeditated to me, with the intention of just opening fire randomly. Even if he or she did, right? Casualties in terms of death, injuries or whatever, we don't know the extent, right? But however, is it really fair to charge the parent because you would have went through the gun safety, you would have locked it away if you've got a safe. There are gun laws that make sure that, I guess, kids are protected, the user is protected, and other people in the community is protected. But to charge the parents is a little bit extreme because even if you do instill the right values, right, do's and don'ts, you're not 100% in control of what your kids ultimately turn out to be.
Correct.
Because as you're raising your child in a home, Christian home or not, depending on your values, there's also an outside influence or another ear whispering into your child's ears. Whether that voice is louder than your rules, it's a tough one for me.
And I think in these two cases, I guess the jury found that these situations were warranted because they found them guilty. So I'm sure the evidence was
compelling.
Compelling. They said, no, this is really a bad situation. What do you think?
I think it's, like Tata said, I think it's really difficult. I think if I were to think about it, I mean, for me, the first question would be like, why would I do that? Like, why would I buy my son, who's 14 years old, a gun? And it would start also with the practicing of, okay, we're killing a living, I know it's a deer, okay, but you're killing a living thing. Do they even understand that when you kill, also like that thing or the creature, be it a thing, a human being, whatever it is living, doesn't come back to life. So it's really hard. So I guess it's very difficult for me to say, okay, where do you draw the line?
Correct.
I think from punishing the parent to also punishing the child, because to Tatu's sentiment around, it's a lighter sentence for the child. Will the children even learn after being reformed, or is it a slippery slope downhill from there for that child to become whatever, after that, irrespective? Meanwhile, the parent will then have no further impact from a parental guidance perspective into his or her life for the rest of their lives, because where are they sitting as a result of that in jail? So it's a tough one, man.
Yeah. And I'm reminded of just a story that I heard recently of sort of someone in the neighborhood. And I think there's some parents that are not ready to discipline their children or say no to their children. So this child is a drug addict, but the serious drugs that make people go crazy, because when he comes back at 3 o'clock in the morning, he's got a hammer and he wants to attack everyone with the hammer. Sure. And when he does, he's hitting every door, they're locking themselves and running away.
I've got an opinion on that, a very strong one.
And the mother is giving him the key to come into the house, giving him the key, instead of saying, you know what, that's enough, him to leave my house and not come back. So in that situation, the mother is not putting her foot down. And if this child were to injure someone in that situation, would the mother be liable? Because she allowed him to come to the house, gave him the key, and allowed him freedom. So there's many instances where a parent will allow their children to do certain things because they don't want to discipline their child. And then if someone gets hurt in that process, is the parent liable because they allowed it to happen?
I agree and disagree, right? Assuming that as parents, we all have good intentions, right? And I know we don't parent the same way. But you'd look at the gun license thing and teaching them how to use one and sort of come with that do's and don'ts, right? It's an assumption. Where I was going to go with this is that if it's a nuclear family, both parents are there, how does the court then decide? And I guess we need to look it up further.
Which one is guilty?
Right, because I'm assuming, again, that the couple will have to agree with each other. So, yes, Tato is old enough to handle a gun. Yes, I will buy it under my license. I don't know how gun licenses work, especially in the States. So maybe the license falls under me. It's an assumption. So I get arrested as a parent because I've allowed this child. Oh, how do they pick? I think at the end of the day, we are allowing, or laws rather allowing, the breakdown of the family. Because one parent is out, and then let's say there's other children in the home. The elder brother or sister is also imprisoned for the same crime. What happens to that family? They're left at home. And the anger that they will feel towards the justice system, and potentially also committing crimes out of hatred. I don't know.
So mine is on the discipline element. So I'm very firm believer of, I'm going to say it in Afrikaans. Jy buig die boompie terwyl hy klein is.
What is the thing? In Zulu it says,
I know it in Zulu.
Say it in both languages.
I'm paraphrasing it. Like you bend the stick while it's still wet.
That's it. So I'm of that school.
No,
so
completely.
You discipline. So that there's no nonsense. Why? Because it builds respect and it builds also a firm line of, this is what I say, this is the rule, this is the law under this rule, and if you don't like it, you can go.
No, and that's a really great way, showing that you are invested in your children. You want to make sure your children become great adults, and you know, different situations come about where perhaps the person was not ready to be a parent. They were young, they didn't parent enough, they didn't know how to discipline, or they were an absent parent for a small time and they want to make up for their absence, so they let the child get away with a lot of things. So it could be at different situations, and you're right, when there's a couple, it's about who made the purchase, who bought the gun, who bought the ammunition, and did you recognize that perhaps that child had a mental illness that they couldn't do this, and you did nothing about it to get them help?
Absolutely.
Right? Or you recognize that my child is not the safest driver. Maybe not give them the keys because they might kill someone with this car. So you recognize that as a parent because you know your child best, but you still did not stop your child from buying more ammunition or getting in the car with the keys and then killing people. So in my side, I think there are certain situations where a parent should be held responsible. Where a parent needs to be charged for a child's crime. And I think it's a case by case situation.
Absolutely.
It has to be looked very deeply into. But we when we, I don't necessarily think it would be a deterrent. I don't think it necessarily would be saying to other parents, okay, let me discipline my child because hey, that dad, Mr. So and so, went to jail because the child did this. I don't think it would be deterrent.
No.
But also, it's a way to say you are also responsible because your actions as a parent or your lack of action as a parent caused someone else's death. And I think that needs to be taken very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What needs to be taken more seriously is that as society around the world, and I stand to be corrected, we usually want to fix or put a band-aid over a wound. And
let the wound dry.
Arresting the parent does not change. Maybe gun laws
need to change.
Be relooked at.
Oh my god!
Fix it at the core of the problem.
No, absolutely. No, you're right. It's we also the mental health sort of access to mental health. Help and so forth. We try and put a band-aid rather than fixing what is it that's the underlying problem that can stop this from ever happening or from building up. But that's our episode for today. Talking about parents being charged for their children's crimes. What do you think? Give us your views. We will put in the links to the stories that we spoke about today, so you can read more or watch more about those, and then give us your opinion. Thank you so much for joining us on Spoken Threads. From us, it's bye.
Bye.